everyone. Welcome to another awesome day of FileMaker Training. I'm Richard Carlton, creator of FMTraining.tv, where every day at this time slot, of course, it depends. I always say 1 o'clock, but it's 1 o'clock for very few people. All of you watching me from all different continents around the world, we greatly appreciate your participation and your attendance here. And it's a great opportunity to learn from each of us, learn great skills. Sometimes I teach something, a lot of times I'm learning. Today is going to be another awesome day where Nick is going to be going through a modernization overhaul workshop. It's pretty exciting. It continues. And so if any of you have questions or ideas or thoughts about that, feel free to post them either to Twitch, YouTube, or Discord. We are broadcasting in high definition on three different platforms simultaneously. And so you can see on the screen, if you go to fmtrain.tv, you scroll down or you hit the left tab, which you can't see at the moment because Margaret's hiding it, but there's a tab which says training. So we go to FMTrain.tv, you press the live training tab. And then down below, you'll see live data from a FileMaker database. Yes, it's our own database. So these are the next 6 broadcast schedule or 6 training events today, during today and tomorrow. And we got Nick Hunter. In fact, I needed to talk to Margaret about Leland Long. Leland is tuning up what he's going to be delivering on Thursday. Then Friday is going to be transient notifications, not dynamic notifications. We demoed these last week. The transient notification is notification that is thrown on screen, but user doesn't have to actively engage in it. It's transient in nature. It comes and then it goes. How long it's there depends upon you as the FileMaker developer. This should be built into the platform. It's not. And so we're going to be recycling some stuff that Kyle Williams developed, demonstrated for us about 18 months ago. He updated it. And so I'm rolling it out and using it. So at my current location right here, I am helping with a solution for this aviation maintenance operation. And as a result of actually using Nick's stuff and using Starting Point Lite, I've seen some improvements that need to be made. Transient notifications have only been around since like probably the mid 90s. So it's really like kind of, desperately needed. So we need to deal with that. So that's going to be a conversation for Friday. It's kind of a lightweight conversation. We probably won't use all the time. During that event, we'll also kick loose a new version. Listen carefully to the words I'm going to say, because 12 of you are going to email me, not because you didn't listen to what I said. Here I go. New version of FM Starting Point Lite. Only Lite. And some of you are going to say, well, when are the features coming to the other versions of Starting Point? As soon as I get spare time or you write me a check for $100,000, we will fix the other versions of Starting Point. But I am taking care of the Lite version personally at RCC. That's my job. All the other engineers are swamped and busy building projects for customers. So we will be updating the Starting Point Lite with some simplicity, some improvements, and also the transient notification system, which will be made as simple as possible for people. So I've got to take some of the complexity that Kyle gave us and kind of dumb it down to basic beginner and intermediate level understanding. And that's the goal for Friday. So Friday might be a 30-minute live stream and then we'll be done. It's hard to say. It just depends if people have questions or if they tune in, whatever happens. But yeah, new version of Starting Point 23 on Friday. So, and then next week we pick back up with Nick on the modernization workshop. Hey, Nick, I have a question. How long are you going to be doing modernization on Ken Tooley's hot air balloon solution? Because sooner or later you're going to run out of to do, right?
Yeah, but we have other files, I bet, and I have other thing on the pipe. So
you have another thing in the pipeline. Okay,
the pipe. Yeah, it's okay, but we can review some of the file that we got, or March. How many files do we have so far?
There's like 15 files in CMS last I checked, or something along that number.
Okay, so we will pick one and
yeah, well, 15 people want you to work on their for free, Nick. So
yeah, it's okay. But so we have all summer will be this. I will make a break because what happened is I have customers that ask me for challenges, right? Things that I've never done before, and things that I need to be innovative in order to get it done. So, and I get 2 things that I built for a customer, which is awesome, and it's very cool. It's something that I want to share, right?
Okay.
So when I build something for a customer that I think, oh, this is cool, that could be a good webinar, I want to come and share, right?
Okay.
Of course, that will be something a little bit advanced. Okay.
Okay, then I won't be there for that. That's fine. It's
Yeah,
totally good. I just skip
yeah,
that one. That's fine. I
yeah.
like it. I like it very basic, right? Black
But
and
the
white.
people, yeah,
You know.
people have asked me for, because they have nothing simple. They want me to do the hard stuff. My work is pretty hard because I'm doing everything I do is super duper complicated. Everything. I don't
Okay.
do anything simple.
I can validate that as an accurate statement. So, all right. Well, it's good because it takes all types of developers to build great projects and great things, simple things sometimes, advanced things sometimes. So, yeah, Nick and I are the yin and the yang, I guess, something like that. So, very good. All right. Well, I'm going to cut you guys loose. I just want to make sure that I gave an update on what we're going to see on Friday. And of course, there'll be 28 people asking me how come we haven't updated the other versions of Starting Point? And once again, we are accepting donations if you want to force that. Ken, you guys ready to go? Margaret, Nick, are you good?
Yeah,
Yep.
I'm good. So yeah,
We're good to go.
Me
good
too.
to go.
All right. Off you guys go.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, boss. And thank you, Ken, for joining today on another day. And thank you, everybody in the audience. And thank you, everybody in the future that will watch this video. Something that I want to tell you guys is that everything that I'm presenting here, right, is based on 30 plus years of experience in FileMaker and doing extremely difficult things, right? So I need to address things, when you have like 500,000 documents and you need to deal with this when you have 1,000 of records and you need to deal with this, right? And then you have challenges like I just explained. So every technique that I'm using here, right, they are the technique to support the heaviness, this to make sure that you will never get problem with the performance. You never get closed. You know what I mean? You never got a roadblock. Say, okay, I use that technique. Oh yeah, but because I have 10,000 record, I cannot use it. Or because I have 15 or 20 users simultaneously, I cannot use it. So all the technique I'm using are technique that support, the heaviness, support the complexity, right? But when you start to master, so people says, okay, don't talk about this, don't talk about the multi-value in the relationship, or don't talk about this. But if we never talk about that, right, nobody will learn. So sometimes you need to be confronted something you don't know, right, to learn. Because if you want to watch something you already know, go do something else, not watch it, right? So that's the goal, right? It's like, I'm speaking fluently 5 languages, 5, okay? And it's like learning a language, but I don't talk about verbs and I don't talk about how the plural works. So no plural and no verbs. So how you learn, how to learn a language, right? It's the same thing. So here we talk about everything. Sometimes it's hard, sometimes it's difficult, because we use the most obscure side, the obscured side of the force, right? So the dark side of the force. So it's sometimes we use that, right? So it's true that this is not documented, is not well documented, is not at all explained, in the field. I checked last week about the relationship, and there more than the videos we made at RCC. I didn't see anything interesting that go beyond the basic, right? So here we go beyond the basic and we crack the nuts and we open, the core, and sometimes it's radioactive and we get the Röntgens in the face, but it's okay, right? So today we're going to continue this because it's an interesting file, and we get to it. So today we are going to finish this status / documents connection that we have. Yesterday we worked on the certificate status, and we work on the two two values in the multi-values in the relationship. So we work on this. So I invite you to watch the webinar from yesterday, which was interesting. And today we are going to continue on this, right? And then we're going to continue following up, the modernization, and we are going to switch to the balloon side, right? And then we're going to continue until I'm exhausting the fuel out of this file, and we go to another one, right? So yesterday we worked on this certificate status. So something I wanted to talk to you today, something that happened very often on FileMaker, and people doesn't know what to do. I watch online, I saw some super duper complication and things that are, slow and cumbersome. And I want to explain what happened here. I want to explain here the interaction we have. We have an interaction. We have something that I am updating a field that is in a related table. This field lives in the document table. This field lives here. Is this field, right? This field here is this one. So it lives in the document table. When I update this field, right, automatically, right, when I update that field, I change that field, automatically I get an ID. But that ID comes from another table, right, here. So I am in this file, I'm in this table, right? I am in the pilot table. I'm updating a field that lives in the document table that update another field, grabbing an ID via a lookup that lives in another table, right? Okay. And then when I update this, and I got everything changed, so everything happened, right? But when I commit the record in the pilot, I'm updating a field, right, that automatically, that force some fields to reset, to trigger, to re-evaluate, call it what you want, to re-evaluate an auto-entry calculation, which I need to remove this, by the way. Okay. So you have an auto-entry calculation that this field here will trigger. That means when I change that field, automatically the auto-entry calculation happen. But here's the problem. The problem is this. I need the record to be committed and closed in order to be able to read the change that happened in that field. That means I need that record, the Ken2Lee record, I need that record to be committed and closed, right? To be updated, to be able, that record to be able to read throughout the relationship, to read what happened in that. That means when I update this, so let me show you. Let me show you here. So I want this guy. Find. Okay. When I update, this is a medical, yeah. When I update that field, you see here and look here, right? When I update that field, that update this one too, right? If I update this one, update this. But in order, this record here, in order to read that change, right? I need the record to be committed and closed. Why? Because it is a related record. It's a related record. It is not a local, a local record, a local information. This is a related record. But what we need to know is that the trigger on record commits happens before the record will be committed and closed. So when that happens, the record is not committed yet. It will be at the end of that, but right now it is not committed. And of course, it is not closed. So FileMaker made the thing very, very obvious here. If for once they did something good. So if we go there, if you let me go. So when you go there, yeah, I don't know why this Zoom is so slow. So when you go there, it said the script will be run when an attempt is made to commit record change on this layout. When an attempt is made to commit, but it's not happening after, is on record commit. It's not after. It happened when the commit is launched, but not when it's done. So what is the problem out of this? Here, right? It says valid if I have certificate front and certificate back, if I have both of them, right?
Right.
If I change this to insurance and I commit the record, here is still set valid. If I put it, because it's reading the previous state of the record. If I click here and I set front, that means it's okay. Now it will say that it's not okay. Okay, it should say that, but it don't. Right? If I do this, so why set valid all the time? It shouldn't.
It's almost like it's not updating at all.
Yeah, it's not updated at all. Did I close something? Yeah, it's not updating at all. It's still saying valid. So what did I do? Trigger? Yeah, I have the trigger here. The 5 and not counts to. Let's put back like it was in order different than 2. Maybe that's not valid at all. So it should, okay. So how many of you, so that's the question I have online. How many of you have this problem when in missing doc? Okay, so yes, missing doc. If I put the back with doc, and if I change this to instance, now it will bam.
Yeah.
Why? Because and if I put it back, it's a missing doc. Is reading the previous states, the previous commit, because it's updating with the previous commit state, the previous state of the record, and then I commit the new states, and then but this already happened. So that means here, if I commit This will happen with the previous states. Then I update this, and then it puts the new states because I'm committing, it close the record. So now that I have a committed close record, this will read the previous state. So it said missing doc. And if I said this, it will say valid because it thinks that the previous output was the right one, right? How many of you has this behavior sometime? You get, I'm pretty sure, Scott, you got this. You get the previous state on the previous closed record state, and then it updates on the previous validation, and then you don't get the new one. How many of you has this?
It seems to me, I remember running into this one time years ago, and probably never figured out what was going on.
I'm encountering this problem many times. So let's see what the people says. Okay. Yeah. So do 2 commit steps. The 2 commit steps. So yeah, you have 2 commit steps. You have some people that open a new window, update, and set, because don't forget, I don't have any triggers in that field because I don't want one. I don't want to have triggers all over the place. I want one trigger here. I want one trigger on commit. I want on commit, and this is where all happen, right? It all happened there in one batch. I don't want an update here. I don't want an update here. I don't want to scatter triggers, on object exit or on object save. I don't want that. Okay. So what do we do? We use our brain cells and use logic, right? So here what happened. And that technique I'm using, I'm resolving 2 problems. We don't want anything to happen on commit. Why? Because it slows down the committing. Okay? When you commit and you have this, update that, set this, set that, it slows down. All obviously will slow down. Okay? So I don't want that one. I don't want the spinning wheel each time I'm doing a commit, right? I don't want that. So here what we do to resolve both problems, performance, and the second problem is to get the record committed, the record closed, and then do the updates after the commits happen, after the close of record happen. And how we do this? Like this. We don't do this, and we do this. We perform script on server. Right? And what this script is doing, right? What this script is doing? Well, it do this. I'm gather ID of the pilot from the parameter, show that the script on server will go, I'm going to the pilot table and I'm performing a find on the pilot ID, to get that pilot. Right? And I set my trigger field with the current timestamp to update all the auto entry calculation that on that pilot, But there's something here. This. So what happened? Here what happened. I am changing this to certificate back, right? And then I commit, boom. The commits do this. I'm perform script server, right? I'm going to perform something on the server on another machine, right? I'm asking the server to do something, but I don't wait for the completion. I don't need to wait for the completion. I want to commit, send to the server, do your job, server, and then go close the record, commit the record and close. I go, I perform this, commit, and record commits, I don't have any, I don't have nothing happen, right? But what the server did, he said, okay, you asked me to commit this, right? You asked me to commit this, but I'm waiting. I'm waiting 2 seconds. I'm waiting. Okay, you asked me something, but I'm waiting. I'm waiting 2 seconds. In the meantime, the server is waiting. Your record will be committed and closed, right? And then the server said, okay, I waited. I'm good to go. Then you said, okay, I'm going back to that record and I'm doing this. The server does. So whatever, if that is hard, or if you have a lot of complexity, something, you have a lot of things going on, and locally it will have taken like 2 or 3 seconds to commit. Now it will be instant. The commit will be instant all the time, and the server will do the job. So what happened is this. Now that I have, this is valid, but if I'm doing this, I'm putting medical and I'm committing, right? I do the commit. This is committed, and then missing doc. Do it again. Certificate back. No, I'm putting that. I commit. Nothing happened, right? And I have it launched the script, and then it will say valid. I hope so. No, it doesn't. Why? He wants to make me lie. So missing doc, that's okay. So we wait. That's 2 seconds. He will say missing doc, right? And certificate back. So I have both certificate yet, and I'm committing this, right? And we said.
So in effect, that's that second commit.
Yeah, but it's something wrong in my calculator. You shouldn't have said valid here. I don't know why.
Yeah, well, it was working before.
Yeah, I don't know. But anyway,
you don't have script debugger still running, do you?
No, I don't know. I did this morning and it was working fine. So what happened if I do this? Yeah, it said valid, so I don't understand why. So let's do it again. So this will say not valid. I did this morning, it was working fairly, okay?
They're changed.
Okay, that's a change, right? And this I said certificate back, valid. Okay, yeah. Just by that my server has some problems, and Jacob is doing some update on my server, so I hope he's not doing it right now.
But 2 seconds is becoming 4.
Yeah, but it's and I have a slow connection because Zoom, but we can see this. See, that's why for these trigger fields I'm using the timestamp, because then I know, right? So if I do this, I know when that happened. So I click here, I know when that will happen. 52, right? So if I do this again, right? So I click here, and then it will do it. Boom, invalid. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, maybe it was. So the beauty of this, right? And I have a very slow connection today. I don't know why. So, but it's okay. So
because your server's in a weird time zone.
Yeah, it's okay. So if I'm doing this and I'm doing this, so I'm removing both. I'm removing both records, this one now and this here, and yeah, I have a spinning wheel all the time. It's very slow today. I didn't do it shouldn't be that slow. So now it will update the timestamp and missing doc. So if I do back, no, that is a front, and if I go there, I do back, right?
Right.
okay, and I validate, right? So I have this, and I validate this, boom, I click here, you commit the record committed, and then valid, okay? So, so you do that, you wait 2 seconds. 2 seconds is safe, it will never take 2 seconds to validate a commit a record. So, but we don't care. We don't, we know the data will come, so we don't need to get that instantly. Okay, we want the thing to be updated, right? So when we commit, right? Okay, so this technique is bulletproof because there's no way it can get it can you cannot get wrong with this, right? And you can ask the server to do whatever you want. And you will never be slowed down. You will get some time until to get the data updated, right? But you will get it, right? And we can go. I want to show you something. If I do this, right, and I go to another record immediately, I don't wait the thing, right? So now it should be, it's missing doc here, you change it. If I go there and I put it back and I go to another record, you will see it happening afterwards, up both, it changed valid. So you can go, you're free to go. You're totally free to go, right? Right? So you change again.
It's like somebody else working on the record. You're done.
Exactly. It's like you ask somebody else, okay, change it for me. Okay, I change it, boom. Right?
Yeah.
So, and it frees you. If you had the oncommit, the set fields, you had to wait the set field to come to happen, right? And here you have this problem of always getting the last committed information, right? And not getting the new updated data. You get it when you commit. And then you always one step behind. Stu, I said, is this intentionally introducing a race condition? Probably fine, but seemed like a strange workaround. I like Austin.
Yeah, I don't know what he means by that.
No, I don't know. The two but the two commit step, you have to wait 2 times and you have the spinning wheel and
But I see it as a 2 commit step. It's just 2 different pieces, the client and the server doing the 2 steps.
Yeah, but I'm not committing. Yeah, but the server do it.
Yeah, the client does one, the server does the second one, and that's how you get the update.
Yeah, I mean, you commit yourself and then the server will go update the data. So, and the advantage of this is the server can do whatever you want and you're not stuck. If you have 2 commits, you're still local. Anyway, I never put, I rarely put on commits things that is not performance server. On commit a performance server, because then it freed me. It freed me completely. I don't race between the update and the first commit. Then the server, if the first is slow and the 2 seconds is not enough time, then it might not work. This here, doing this, right? Or doing this is the same. Because not having committed at all. Because there's nothing happened. Your performance server and off. So you don't wait. If you do 2 commit steps, right? You need to wait 2 times. It's up to you. It's the same, and everything performance server, right? So, but if you have more than 2 seconds to wait until the commit, is that you have something, wrong on your layout, because you commit, boom, it's committed, boom, committed, and then update, right? And if it's not, and if it's too slow, boom, 3 seconds.
And there's not an issue. You change one field, and when you go to the next one, does it commit the record then? Or
yeah, this will commit the record automatically because it goes away. I don't need to.
That's not what I was talking about.
Yeah.
Back on when you're changing the documents, like when you change two of them right off the bat, when you move from one of those changes to the next, does that commit it to trigger the server script?
Rephrase this for me.
If you change the both certificates, change them both off.
Yes.
When you're going from one to the other to change the second one, is there a commit in there?
No.
Yeah. So if you change that and then move to another one and change
it's not committing. It's not committing. No.
Got it. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. No, it's good. It's good. So I'm changing this one.
Right.
Nothing happened. Right.
Right.
And I'm going to this one. Right. Okay. Okay. This is different.
Yeah, that was on a load or something, I think.
Yeah. But here I have a commit. Here. So it will commit, but it doesn't matter, it launched
because the second one's going to catch everything up anyway.
Yeah, but I do the commit here, because actually I don't know why I'm doing the commit here, by the way. I don't need that. But if you remove the commits, it won't commit, right? But anyway, it doesn't matter when you change this and you change that, and if you go there, you commit and you go and you change this again, right? So it doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter. So
it's going to catch up.
It will catch up. Okay.
Yeah.
See, missing doc. So it's it rarely fails. I never really, because you committed. So, and this is a set field, right? So it's pretty fast, right? On server, this won't be noticeable.
Yeah.
If you trigger on modify when the update won't work since the change is not committed yet. Yes, but it is.
Look at Lynn's comment right before it.
It is committed. No, it doesn't stand. Okay. At that point here, right? If I do this here, at that point, committed. It's commit. And 2 seconds later, it will go back and do the other updates. So it's committed. The record is not open at that point. If you do this, it doesn't interfere. If you do this, poof, committed. It's committed. So, boom, and after that it comes. So your trigger will work. I mean, I never encounter any problem here. Would not do 2 commit step. You wouldn't put an object on the middle of the doc text fields to set. Yeah, but it doesn't work. Okay, I understand that. Okay. If you don't like this technique, don't use it. It saved my butt a lot, because this is simple. But when you have a complex interaction, and triggers here, yeah, you can put a trigger. Okay, let's do it. That means you have a trigger here that set that field each time you do this. So you have triggers all over the place. Trigger here, trigger here, trigger here, trigger here, trigger here, trigger. I rarely use a trigger on those object stuff. Rarely. Only when it's heavily necessary. Like here. It's necessary. For example, or here. This is necessary. So when it's necessary, I use it. Here is totally unnecessary, because I prefer to have an on-commit. I prefer to have an on-commit records. When I commit it. But you can use the technique you want. I'm not. But if the trigger on modify, then the update won't work since the change is not committed yet. But the change is committed. I don't understand why it won't work. The change is committed. the change is committed. The
Yeah, it's
field
kind of in relation.
here,
His comment
the
is kind of in
change
relation
is
to the one
committed.
before it.
The change is committed, but the field here is not updated. That you're confusing two things. The change is committed. This field is not updated. That's not the same thing. That's not the same thing. You can force this field to be updated before the commits, right? By doing on modify. If you do the on modify, that will force the commits, that will force the updates. So you set that field pretty much, right? Let's do it. If you want to do it, we can do it. I can use the same on commit here. Let me deactivate this. So I'm doing this, and I'm doing this on save here, right? So on object validate, on object save, sorry. I'm going to perform this. I'm not even sure it will work, by the way. But this on commit and you do the server stuff, it's okay. So I do this, right? And I have the commit doing it. Right? Okay. So I have an on object save, but you didn't fix any problem, like suspected, because it's not committed yet. So you need to script the script to do the commits and then update. So you need the script to do something like this. So that's why, and then you add extreme complexity, because many times we have on record commit stuff. Sometimes we have it, right? And many times we have something, but because you force the commit in the trigger, then so I need to deactivate this, put the commit here. I don't see that easier. I'm sorry, Stu or Lynn. I'm sorry. I don't see that easier. I don't. You scatter things. You have the on commit here. You have an on commit here that could interfere, that could launch your on commit trigger for no reason, just to validate this. So now it might work, So I commit and and then you commit, and then you have no way to do the reverse, a record here, right? Because you committed. So hold on. So certificate fronts, let's see if it works. It worked because you forced the commit and then you set the field. Okay, if that for you is better, let's do this. Okay, but I'm explaining that in your case scenario, that's cool if your on commit has nothing else than this. But whatever, if you have on commit, you have many things happen, right? Let's say you have many things happen on commits, right? So because you commit this, you're going to run the script that is here, right? The script that is here, you're going to run it because you force the commits. So this script will be run. Each time you change this, you have the commit running, right? Always you commit. Every time you modify this, you're going to commit all the time, okay? And then run. So you need to use, okay, I know what you say. I know what you think. You need to let's say I have, okay, let's do it. Do it because I want to show that. So I have an on commit record, right? And I have an on object save. Okay. Right? And this is the document type. Okay. And this is my commit, my actual commit. And in the commit, I put many things. In this commit, let's put something like this. Show dialog, for example, to show you that all the time you're going to. So now I'm going to put that script in the commits trigger, because if you have something on the commit, your technique is very, very bothering, because you have this commit all the time. Okay, so each time you change this, Each time you change this, boom, commit. You change this, boom, commit. Yeah, each time you're going to commit all the time. So what you need to do to avoid a commit to happen, right? What you need to do to avoid a commit to happen, you need to do this. If trigger $$ trigger trigger equal off, okay, equal on, sorry, no, off. If it's off, right, you set the variable $$ trigger to blank and you exit the script. And then you say else. So I'm showing you how to deactivate a trigger when you don't want it. Okay? So you need to do this to avoid the trigger to happen in your case scenario. You go there and you say, I want trigger off, commit, and then do this. So now in that solution, look this. I change it and I don't have the commit happen. I have commit happen, but I don't have the script popping. The script didn't pop. I have the commit happening, but I don't have the popping. So that means if I debug this, I have this. I'm setting the variable off. I commit, I run the on-commit script, but I said, no. I have this variable off. That means reset the variable itself. You need to reset it to be ready for another one and exit. And then you set the field. The committed record. It is not that simple. If you want to do your technique, you need to do this. Otherwise, you have always, you change this, and because of the commit, it commits, right? Understand you and understand that, right? That way, because most of the time on commit, you have a lot of things going on, and you don't want the commit to happen all the time. You understand? So I was thinking that avoiding those scattered triggers on object save, but if you trigger on modify, then the update won't work since the change. But I don't trigger on modify. We don't trigger on modify. We don't do that. Why you want to do on modify if it doesn't work? Stu, you understand? Why you want to do that on modify if it doesn't work? It won't work. Many things won't work on modify. You need a save. You need on save because otherwise you don't get you understand? On modify won't work anyway. Even if I don't understand, Stu. Sorry. I don't want to sound like irritated or like this, but on modify won't work whatsoever. Oh, okay. Okay. Sorry. I didn't. Sorry. No. Okay. No, look. Let's back up.
Hanging in Austin tomorrow.
We are learning. We are learning. I have files where on commit, I have heavy things happening on commit because I need to update this, update that. I can show you something that happened on commit, and because it happened, because I need it, because I need it, and I don't want the spinning wheel every time I'm committing something. Like for 5 seconds, 10 seconds, I want the spinning wheel all the time. Okay, I'm doing on commit and I avoid those triggers, right? Because they are difficult to manage. You need to do you need to do tricks like this, right? Which is a good technique to avoid a trigger to happen, right? You set the variable off, And in the script, you say, okay, if off exits, right? So that's a good way, right? So I show you that, right? Because on purpose. But otherwise, if you do on save, all the time you have the on-commit script that happen. And this is not good for the server because you do a lot of committing all the time, right? I do commit really, I need it, right? So here we have, okay, you want to see something, let's show. So you have situation, right? And here I have a lot of on-commit stuff because I need it, because we have a lot of things going on, right? And I have a lot of things going on, right? So so I use that technique of the, I don't know if you see here, I have it on commit. So on commit, I'm doing perform script on server. And I have this. Sometime I commit and I don't want the commit to happen. I mean, I don't want that to happen. I don't need it. I need to commit the record, but I don't want that to happen, right? So what is 2800 script do, right? So 2800 script do, right? So look what happened. Look what happened. So you want this, right? On local? Really? You want this local?
I don't think so.
Are you sure? Right? But I need it. I'm sorry, I need it, right? I'm going to the parcel. I'm perform restore. I'm looking for the that I'm in, and I replace this. Then I'm doing this. I'm going to the contact ID, and I replace this. And then I go to companies, and I replace this. And then I go to site, and I replace this. So I'm getting the parcel ID, the contact ID, company ID, and the site ID, parcel, contact, company, and site. And then I go and I update my stuff, right?
The trigger.
Otherwise, you know what? You need unstore calculation, right? Okay, cool. Let's go with unstore calculation. That will be fast, right? So this is doing his job, right? And I don't wait for that. I don't wait. I don't care. I'm here. I perform this off, waiting off. I don't need to wait for that. He goes to other table, doing his job, he's updating his stuff. Do your stuff, do your job. Do your freaking job, right? And update my stuff. I don't want to hear about you, right? So when you have something like this and you want to do, you want to do that on commit. If you want to do that locally, good luck. Really, I wish you luck. That will be slow. I encourage you to use the on commit a lot and to gather everything. Yeah. Oh, I want. Look, I don't want to. This is not. I like interaction, right? I like the interaction. Right? But this is something that I've learned, right? Doing heavy, complicated things. So I'm telling you what I'm doing. In the same time, this technique not only make everything faster, because I have, not only do everything faster, but it allows you to say, okay, wait a little bit. Okay, wait a little bit, right? And do it when everything closed, finished, finito, termina, terminate. When you finish everything, when everything closed, when everything committed, then do your stuff. Update this on the server. It will be like instance. It will be like it will be like a path. Like a sparkle. It won't take a long time to do this. Of course, right? If you do a lot of things, even though here I have a replace here, but that is a mistake. I could have put that a set field, because I have only one record for those. This will find always one record, never find more than one. So this is a set field. I could have put that a set field, by the way. Okay, but this is super fast on the server. You won't even see the pieces happening, showing up on the server. You don't see it because that is fast as hell. I'm not doing anything crazy. If you go on commit and you say plenty of things and you do crazy things, yeah, but you need to you need to be quiet, right? You need to go slow, right? Don't put crazy things there, right? But I put what is necessary, right? It's very important. It's so let's do this, right? So let's put this script here. So I'm going this. I want those two steps here. So this is on commit. So I don't want this, and I don't want this. So I want to keep all the thing, right? I want to keep all the thing going. So this script here, I'm going to deactivate it. I can keep it like this if you want. No, but it's not better, because now this, if I didn't use that trick, trigger off, that prevent this to happen, right? Actually, I prefer to do this than else, because you say, okay, if trigger off, set exit, that's it, and go away. So to prevent that the commit script to be performed all the time, then you change something here, right? You need to use that. Okay, so that's just what I need to show you. So that being said, if you have any question, guys, not mad. Just, I tell you, this is a good practice. Don't avoid. I'm not saying don't use it because it's not possible, but avoid is possible. Avoid this to happen. Avoid this. Try to be rational and to put all your stuff in one place, right? That happens when you get out of the record, right? You have one step, right? Right? Because here is like saving a document, saving a Word document every time you type a word. That will be the same thing, right? So, you save a document when you're finished typing, right? When you want to save it, right? So it's a good technique to avoid this scattered on save, because on modify, nothing will happen. On modify, nothing will happen. On modify is nothing committed, nothing, on save, yes. On validate, no, because this is before the internal validation. This is after changes, right? So yes, this works. This not. This happen after you modify an object, but that's set. The only thing on modify, the only thing you'll be able to read here is the content of the field. Let's do something. Let's play a little bit. We have 2 minutes. I'm going to modify this. I'm going to duplicate this, okay, and put it on modify. Okay. Right. And I want to do this. I'm going to show dialog. And I'm going to show the B. I'm going to show the T05B document type, and the ID, T05B document type. So modify, right? So I'm putting this on modify. I'm removing this, and I'm putting on modify. I'm going to put this. Okay. So I will save. So I'm doing this. Boom. It says insurance, but I'm not sure that the documents, the ID is this. This will be this okay, but this is not. Let's see. Let's see. No, it's good. You know, FF. Yeah, it was changing. So let's see. So I'm doing medical. And I'm taking the medical. Yeah, it's taking it. It's taking it. Right? So so on modify, change the record, you know. So we can see this here. So it was here. Where am I? I'm in the second one. Okay. Yeah, this one. Certificate front. Yeah. So here, right? So if I do this, this is on modifies. It did this, it's on modify. So it does it, right? But what I'm not sure is that this is available in another calculation yet, because I didn't save it, right? So it's tricky. You know, even you see too, lean was, it works on the modified. It updates, you know, I have the proof of it, right? It updates it. It updates on modify, right? So see, those things are, you know, it updates this on modify. So because it's a lookup. So yeah. But anyway, yeah, how to suppress the, oh yeah, Stu said, thank you for showing the suppress on commit, you know. Yeah, but that works for any type of what's the name? Triggers, right? You can use the same technique for everything. All the triggers on object exits, if you don't want the exit to happen, right? On object save, the same, use the same technique. I'm using a lot on this on object on commits, because most of the time, you know, when I do a change on in the layouts, right? And I know I don't need this to be validated on other tables, right? I'm just keeping the script to run. So we call that optimization. So you optimize your layout, saying, okay, I want to run that when I commit, but sometimes I have a script that do a commit, right? But I don't want to, for example, here, right? In this script here, I should add don't commit it. So I should add this set variable, you know, like this, trigger, $trigger, and then off. Okay. So I should add, right? Because on this script, why? Because I don't need to commit, I don't need to execute the script when I click here, right? And it's faster because I didn't do the commit. I did the commit, but I don't run the script on the commit. See, if I go there, I click here, and I do this, right? Oh, I had the trigger off. Yeah, it was there. Yeah, I thought about it, right? See, I'm not that stupid. I mean, you know, I don't. Yeah, this is something else. So I don't do the commit here, right? So when I click here, I thought about it. When I click here, I have this off, and then I do the commit, right? I do the commit, but it didn't run any scripts, right? See, I click here, I do the trigger, this, and when I do commits, leave me alone, right? But hold on. I think I deactivate the script here. No, it's there. Yeah, leave me alone. But it should have this weird because it should have run this, but it's okay. Yeah, tomorrow we're going to just a sneak peek. Tomorrow we do the double click. So tomorrow we do this one. Here we do this. We do the double tomorrow. Okay, so double click and it opens something, right? So we do that tomorrow, and
so we can take a closer look at the document.
Yeah, exactly. So
yeah, because we need to read like the dates and things off of them.
Exactly. Sometimes you want to open this in another, right? So pretty much what we want to do. I don't know if this is still open here. Yeah. So when you hear, because unfortunately, well, as I said, I don't work on anything simple, so I don't have this chance. But anyway, sometimes I turn down. I told people, I say, okay, you don't want to pay me for that, No, seriously,
yeah.
Because it's not necessary to have what's the name? Yeah, my connection is super slow. But it's not necessary to have a super engineer that you pay more, right, to do something basic, right? So I prefer people to invest. So when you hear, you have the documents, right? So you have a document here, right? And you want to see that document, right? You want to
right.
go. So you see here, you double click, right? And then you go to the documents table, right? My stuff is slow with Zoom and everything.
Yeah.
Sorry for that, guys. But you double click, you open the document table. It's my stuff is super slow. So you go to the document, so you see the documents, right? And you're there, and then you can go back to the parcel you were by clicking on the parcel and go back where you were. Boom, right? So
yeah, I kind of had that working with a single click, which actually gets annoying when you don't really want to see the document. You want to do something else.
Because
so the double will be great.
Exactly. So the single because I have a single click. Single click is a selection.
Yeah.
I selected,
yeah.
right? But
right.
I want a double click to be able to double click, go to the document table on that. Right.
Right.
Right. So and go back. Boom. Right.
Yep.
So sometimes you need that,
Yep.
Sometimes you need this. So I use that on many things. So okay. So we can wrap up and see you tomorrow.
Yep. See everybody tomorrow. Thank you very
Thanks,
much.
Nick. Thanks, Mark.
Bye-bye.
Got a report of an individual up here who may be a FileMaker license. Well, it's potentially expired. Look at the back of that car right there. Looks like the FileMaker license has expired. Sir, I need you to step out of the vehicle. Sir, step out of the vehicle. Sir.